So let's figure out your training zone based on a 40-year-old individual. Take your max heart rate, which is 180, and you're going to subtract out your resting heart rate, which resting heart rate, we'll use the average of 60, okay? Oops, here it is, 60 beats per minute. Okay, so average resting heart rate is 60. 180 minus 60 equals 120. That number is actually called your heart rate reserve, HRR, heart rate reserve. Once you've got that number, you take the 120 and you multiply it by the different intensities. So this lower intensity here, 0.5, 120 times 0.5 equals 60. Once you get that number, you're going to now add back in your heart rate, your resting heart rate. 60 plus resting heart rate, which is 60, is 120. So working at 50% your max heart rate, your target heart rate is 120 beats per minute. Okay, now let's figure out the other end of your training zone, the 85%. Again, starting with the 120, which is your heart rate reserve, and multiplying it times 85%, or 0.85. When you do that, you get 102. Taking that 102 number, adding in your heart rate, resting heart rate back in, and you get 162. So that's your target heart rate for working at 85%. So when you're exercising and you're a 40-year-old individual and everything is averaged out and age adjusted, you want to work between 120 and 162 beats per minute. I've also already calculated the 70%. So at 70%, your heart rate is about 144 beats per minute. So if you want to be in the fat burning zone, between 120 and 144, if you want to go a little bit more cardiovascular endurance, 144 to 160. If you're hitting 180, it's probably close to your max. This is all information you can find on the internet as well. If you want to go back and calculate the formula, you can probably find a site that you just put in your numbers and it'll calculate it for you as well. Whenever you're working out, depending on your goals, you want to be working hard. Exercising is not always easy, so you're going to be breathing heavy, you're going to be sweating likely, and you're going to be slightly uncomfortable. If it gets to the point where you can't breathe, you're hurting, then you're probably working over your 85%. If you can have a conversation and you're just walking along and things are good, you're probably not quite high enough. Hope that helps. Enjoy your weekend.